Good afternoon. It's Melissa Pierce with Melissa Pierce and Associates. Good afternoon. It's Melissa Pierce with Melissa Pierce and Associates. Today, I want to talk about one area of co-parenting that comes up a lot and can cause a lot of unnecessary conflict. And that is, what do children call the new spouse when their parents remarry, or the significant other when they're dating? Now, so a lot of parents do talk about this ahead of time, and they agree to let the children call the new parent or the significant other whatever the children feel comfortable. So if it is saying the first name of the person, so if it's Mary, they would just call her Mary, or stepmom or mom. It really depends on what the parties agree on. I have seen parties agree that mom and dad is an acceptable term to use and they have no problem with that. Other parties are absolutely dead set against it. And the most important thing is that this conversation about what will the children call the other parent, that it's left outside of the children's hearing. So if it's going to cause a conflict between mom and dad, the original, the birth parents, the parents who've been divorced, that's a conversation that happens between them and not with their significant others or new spouses. And this is a conversation that really should happen pretty quickly after the divorce is finalized, because there will be significant others coming into the picture at some point, and it's better to set this out quickly. Now, you don't want to do this in front of the children, because you don't want the children to be going, I feel uncomfortable, I really want to call her mom, but it's upsetting my mom. So this is something that you have to realize. And there is no harm. I mean, my own children called their stepmom mom. Some people thought I should take offense to it. I honestly knew that I was their birth. I carried them. I gave birth. There was no difference in that. And it was a decision that the children had made, and it really hadn't been discussed. So by the time I had learned that they were calling their stepmom mom, or that they were calling my significant other dad, it was too late to go back and say, no, hold on, wait a minute, you can't call him that. So this is really a conversation that I have learned should happen as close as possible to the divorce, your entry of judgment of divorce, as quickly as you can. How will the children address that? And then it's something that both mom and dad should present to the children as a united front. But then also, respect their choice. Maybe you tell them, we prefer that you not call our new significant others, or when we marry, that person mom or dad. But maybe the children feel more comfortable. And so that is something to take into consideration too, because how you address that with your child could be viewed by the court to be a disparaging comment. And you don't want to have that happening. So it's really a conversation. And I remember the first time I heard my youngest refer to my husband, who I was dating at the time, as dad. So it was a conversation that he and I had later when she was not around. Why did she start calling you dad? How did this come about? Who brought it up? Who said it? So that is something that you really have to take in consideration, is having that conversation, not only with your children, but as you start dating, making it clear to your new significant others what it is and is not acceptable. And then if the children just happen to do it, like it happened with my daughter, you just go with it and roll with it. You don't come down on the children, because it's their choice. It's what they feel comfortable. And you really don't want to create a preference between any parent, their biological parent or the new parent coming in. So I'm happy to answer any questions on this topic. If you have any, you can go ahead and drop them into the comments. And if it's something that really should be handled on a one-on-one basis, I'm happy to have a consultation with you, a 15-minute free consultation, and talk about the issues. But it's really something that you should let the children kind of decide as well, if they're old enough. But it's also a conversation that should happen early on after your judgment enters. So there is my tip on how to co-parent in a healthy manner without dragging the children into it. And So we've talked about establishing communication, and part of that, the next part of that is once you've established how to communicate, it's how are they going to how are they going to address the new parents as they come involved in their lives? How will that happen? So I hope this has been helpful. And like I said, if you need any further input on it, please don't hesitate to drop a comment or send me a private message. You can always email us, and I will go ahead and put the email in the comments for you. You can always go ahead and send an email. Either I or my assistants will answer on what you should do. So there's our email address. It is team@melissapiercelaw.com. Go ahead, send us an email if you have questions on how do you handle the children referring to the new parent or the significant other as mom or dad. And just remember, once the child starts calling that new person mom or dad, it's a little too late to discuss this. So something to think about. And if you haven't discussed it yet, and there is no significant others, go ahead and start having that conversation with your ex. Figure out what the two of you are comfortable with, and then communicate it to your children in a united front. Have a great day, and I hope this has been helpful.